Okay, so just to give everybody a bit of background on Cambridge Electric Transport, we've been operating since July 2018, providing communities and employers e-bike services to get their staff to work. And there you can see some shots of our different activities. These are the bike stations or hubs that we have around around the city. Focusing on the North Stowe project, this is the e-bike that we are going to be deploying. We're going to have 20 of them available for residents in North Stowe. As you can see, there are various features there. An easy step-through frame for all types of users. It's got gears. It's got 3 levels of assist. I think that several North Stowe residents have already tried out this bike and like it. We provide pannier bags for carrying shopping, etc. There'll be kiddie trailers and kiddie bike seats available at the shelter that's going to be at the Pathfinder School. There will be COVID measures available, including hand sanitizer, disposable gloves, and wipes at each of the stations. We will have online an instruction video on the bike and the app operations as soon as we're able to, we'll also be providing one-to-one personal guidance to riders, especially for their first rides. What's important in terms of the management of the bike are the frame locks that will be included, residents have already used bike share services, but basically you open the app on your handset, you scan the QR code to unlock the bike. When you pause or finish a ride, you lock the bike via the app. It's tracked by the GPS on the lock for security, and you have to finish your ride back at one of the bike stations. This is a preview of the app. We're working with Mobit in Belgium, who are our back-end service provider. You just download the app from App Store and register. North Stowe residents can register for an initial £1 payment, and then your North Stowe postcode will qualify you for your discounted rates, subsidized by South Cambs District Council. If you don't have a smartphone, we'll issue you with a smart card with ride credits loaded so that you can pay, and you can pay for those via our website. And we will have a helpline to assist with any problems. What's fantastic about North Stowe is the terrific routes that you have available via the guided busway, giving you access to the town. I don't think I need to tell everybody about that, you know that. But then you've also got lovely leisure cycling routes to the Fen Drayton Lakes, the River Cam, Milton Country Park, etc. We're ideally situated to take advantage of those longer routes, especially with electric bikes. And later on, you'll be able to access the A14 cycle routes via the Southern Access Road being built. The e-bikes will be available at 2 bike stations. One will be the existing North Stowe Mobility Hub at Long Stanton Park and Ride. And that service we plan to launch on the 1st of August. And then there's going to be a custom-built bike shelter near Pathfinder School, launched at mid-August. So there will be 10 bikes based at each of these. Riders will be given codes to access the stations themselves, and bikes must be returned to the station they were picked up from. So these are the rates that we've agreed with South Cambs and Smart Travel, Smart Journeys. Basically, North Stowe residents will be given a 50% discount on the standard commercial rates that we would be charging for these times. So with that, I'd welcome any questions and clarification points. Thanks.
thanks. We've got a concern about providing gloves for the bikes, that they're going to be left. Sean, sorry, can you just stop sharing? Because I think it means I can't hear. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a question on providing gloves for the bike, that they're going to be left on the ground and become a hazard. Wouldn't just a sanitizer be enough?
Possibly. I mean, we're open to whatever South Cambs thinks is the best way to manage that. Yeah, we're very, very conscious of the terrible disposable glove litter, etc., that we see around. But we will have dustbins in the shelters if it's considered necessary to use disposable gloves. I'd like to just use the sanitizer.
Thank you. And is there a possibility of having e-scooter prices and e-scooters rather? And also, what were the indicative prices? They couldn't quite read that on the presentation. How much would a day rate be, for example?
A full day rate, full day of 12 hours is £4.50.
Thank you. And the bikes will be available for Longstanton residents too. This is not just, there's not a Northstowe only bike thing. Question on, so there's 10 bikes at each hub. Does that include the ones that are for commuting to Science Park and paid for by employers? Or is this on top of that?
In addition to the existing.
In addition.
The existing new bikes that are going to be branded as Northstowe e-bikes.
Great.
Just on into the scooter question, we really want to focus on e-bikes because we feel that Northstowe is in a position where we want to cater for longer range rides, and scooters are not, we just don't consider them to be fulfilling that sort of range of ride. Useful for getting around the city, half a mile, but not for a 7-mile ride into town, into the city. So really, we want to encourage longer range rides.
Great. Yep, that makes sense. There's concern on the amount of stolen, vandalised similar bike schemes in Cambridge. How are these different?
Well, that is an ongoing problem, but obviously we're going to monitor them very closely. We've had bad experiences ourselves with stolen bikes, and that is why South Cambs is going to the additional cost of building the bike shelter for us, so that overnight the bikes will be stored in a secure, locked bike shelter at both sites.
Great, thank you. And just to confirm that the subsidy for this is coming from both the NHS England Healthy Newtown funding as well as Section 106 Phase 1 developer contributions to supporting sustainable travel. And there's a clarification on the Longstanton residents. So Northstowe residents are paying £1. Will they get a cheaper rate?
Northstowe residents will get the discounted rate.
And how will that work? So
basically, Northstowe residents will be, when they register, they give us their address, and as soon as they register with a Northstowe postcode, they qualify for the discounted rates.
Okay, that kind of seems to penalise Longstanton, which is obviously where the original busway was.
That's really for if South Cambs wanted us to extend the discounted rates to Longstanton residents, we'd be happy to do that. But this is really what perhaps Claire could respond to that if really that's what we agreed in our discussions.
I can come in there, Sarah. Yes, because the subsidy really is to support the Northstowe travel plan, the subsidy and the developer contribution needs to be directed towards those Northstowe residents. at present, yes, the Longstanton residents will have access to the scheme, but have to use the scheme with the existing commercial rates. However, I would encourage Longstanton Parish Council to consider, for example, other options which might be available to them to extend that coverage, such as looking at the Zero Carbon Communities grant. So there might be further down the line changes to that scheme, but it would be subject to finding some additional funding to extend that subsidy.
Thanks, Claire. I think that is the end of the questions for the bikes. We're back